those on that color wheel and just remind yourself of some things, okay? But here's the thing that's really important is how color interacts with another color. And color and its environment is quite important. And if you think about something that's been printed, that looks differently based on the paper that you print on or the background or whatever, right? So knowing what a color is that surrounds it changes what it means. Another thing that color does is well, it depends on how we see it, okay? So what are these two colors? Let's start with that.
Green and red.
Okay, and what are green and red though?
Are they complementary?
Yeah, for the most part, right? Depending on the color wheel that you use. All right, so here's the trick. Same people, same composition, but does the color, not the background, does the color of the people change?
No.
Mm-mm.
Look at this figure on the left, kind of the light gray. Does it look different on the back of green versus the red?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Kind of. It's like kind of darker, I'd say at least.
Gives a different atmosphere.
Yeah, the background matters. And this is, the grays have not changed. But to me, this one on the left with the green background looks lighter. The one on the right looks darker.
I guess I'm just crazy.
No,
maybe my screen's messed up.
Let's blame that. No, but keep in mind that the environment that you're in changes the color. So wherever you are physically at this moment, your screen makes a difference. Your eyes make a difference. The lighting, like if I turn it and you get this reflection of the front yard, like that's going to be completely different, right? So knowing that color is subjective is important to pay attention to, and the color that goes behind it makes a difference. So here's another one. You have a yellow and a violet. What are those two? Or yellow and purple. Where do they fit on the color wheel?
Like opposite of each other?
Yeah, they're complementary, right? Same thing. Do those look different?
Yeah.
They should. I'm not trying to call you out on what you can't see, Trevor, but they should.
Okay, I think if anything, the yellow makes them look darker.
Yeah, it influences it, and that's what I'm trying to say is like that's important. So they pick up, and if you really look at it, the ones on the with the purple background might pick up a yellow shade or a tint, and the ones on the yellow might pick up the purple because of complementary connections there. But even if you look at the smallest figure in the bottom left, that one looks a lot darker than the one on yellow versus purple, right? So, and it could just be, but that's what that simultaneous contrast is. It's the background influences the color as we go along, okay? So it matters, right? So here's actually what it is. You know, hopefully you can see this as an animation. As you go far apart, do those two squares look the same? But they actually
No.
are. Isn't that incredible? To me, it is. I don't know what you think about it, but that is the background influences, the surrounding colors influence the color choice that you make. So you could watch that for a while, but that's just this repeating, right? Because more contrast gives everyone more visibility, everything more visibility. And if there's not, do you remember when we did that quick printout? Didn't we do a quick printout of grayscale and you couldn't see certain things? There wasn't enough contrast between elements, and so there was less visibility. So we're not going to print a grayscale version again, but two, because we don't have printers, we don't have access to that kind of thing. So I just want you to be aware of that color background and foreground, and contrast between those makes a difference, okay? And it can be just something really simple. So these chairs sitting on a background that's black can be influenced differently if I change to a lighter color and a little bit lighter blue than a complete black, right? So did they actually change? Maybe a little bit. But I want you to make choices with your color that help you see what it is that it needs to be seen. Okay. All right. So do you see this yellow circle?
Yellow?
No, you shouldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Thank you for responding to that. I was making sure you're all paying attention. Do you see a red circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Stare at the white dot in the middle for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to move beyond that. Okay, ready? So just keep staring. I'm not going to connect you to too much things forever. It's not like you're going to give me all kinds of money, but just stare at that white. Okay, ready?
Oh man.
What do you notice?
Blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Green.
Like blue-ish.
Same
I saw that.
shape, circle there?
Yeah, for the most
Optical
part.
illusions.
Yep.
Yeah, optical illusions are fascinating, right? The theory
Yeah.
behind this, though, is that actually what's left, and again, there's tints and shades, but what's left is the complement. And the complement of red is green. That's the theory, but it might be leaning towards blue a little bit. So you kind of see this glowing circle repeated or staying there. It's frozen, yeah. So here's a different one. Stare at the black one here in the center, the black circle, and you see these yellow diamonds. Okay, so we'll stare at that for a couple seconds. What'd you see there? Anything?
Purple.
Purple?
Yeah. Purple.
I hadn't said complementary. Purple is a complement of yellow, but but here's the question is, where was it left? Was it left where the yellow was, or was it left where the white negative space was?
I don't even think I realized. I don't even think I paid attention to that.
That's okay. I'll do it again and see if you can notice. Most likely it's still in the same spot. But
To me, it is.
I think, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's just another thing related to how we see. And we often, again, see it's the optical illusions. We often see what's left in the complement of that color, okay? And where this was used in design was actually in a particular time period. And you see this interactivity. The term that's used is called visual vibration. And this visual vibration, I'm not going to make you stare at this, but do you see some busyness with it? Do you see some actual movement? And maybe it hurts your head. I don't know. But if you look at the one on the right, or sorry, the left, do you see like the words are on fire?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Mhm.
a little bit. Or maybe the one on the right, you see these eyes kind of rotating. And this worked really well when? When were these made? Do you know? Can you tell? What time period do you think? Do they kind of say? Like what style of music?
60s.
60s.
70s?
Yeah, right. The one on the left isn't necessarily that same time period, but it feels that way. So you can work with this vibration. Visual vibration is not necessarily a good thing, but if you're working on a particular time period or a particular message, then yeah, it can. So that vibration, I'll get off of that. It makes us hurts our eyes. So you want to give it as little contrast, give it enough contrast that you want, but you don't want it to be the color vibration that can actually hurt us, because it can hurt the viewer's eyes and get you worn out. But sometimes teams use this And I've actually seen a basketball game. It's been a while now, and not because there aren't basketball games happening, but it's been a while where I think it was a team from Texas, Baylor, had their floor was this neon green. Their uniforms were this neon green. The only thing that wasn't was their ball. And the ball was just normal orange color. But you're watching this, and it's like everything on this game is glowing and vibrating, and it just hurt. Everything looked kind of blurry even too, but that could have been the TV's fault. But this color can be useful. Why would these schools use them? My prediction is it's like, hey, it's another way. And I know the one on the left is not a school, but we can sell more uniforms. So let's use a different color. Who knows? But that vibration can be good, but it can also wear you out. So pay attention to that. All right. So color preferences, know who your audience is. Know what time frame it is that your event is happening. Know where we are in the world. If it's something that's religiously related, or if it's something geographically related or culturally related, what can you use to help the viewer understand that event a little bit more? Okay. And what I would do, again, know your audience as you're picking your color or colors. Think about what kind of response that you want people to have. And in general, I would say 2, 3, 4 colors. Simplify it. Not that you need to make it monochromatic, but think about it, how you can use color to your advantage and how you can use color that works together to help unify everything. Okay, so as you're creating your composition or a little bit more, how can you work with that? Okay. I did mention that color is subjective. Your eyes, the light that you're using, whether that's sunlight, whether that's light from our classroom, whether that is light from a light bulb, if it's just from your monitor, whatever. But then what you're surrounding it with. So if you have glowing lights, I've been in offices before where there's this kind of this cave that you're working in that's a neutral gray. And because that neutralizes the color that you need to use. It's an advantage of using something like a Pantone color because we're guaranteed that that color is going to look right. But also keep in mind that the color that we use to print and that we see on the screen versus what we see on the print is not going to be the same. We have to be aware of that and be flexible within it. And what kind of material we're printing on and working on, kind of going from there as well. Okay. And what we can do though is we can tint and shade, we can play and make depth, and we can explore some of that in Illustrator if you find out that it's helpful as you're kind of going. So just as a quick wrap up with this content, I will put it on this third section on Blackboard for you. But we looked at hue, we've looked at saturation, we've looked at value. We've looked at tinting and shading. We've looked at how color is related, and then how color that's related, how that actually helps us understand there's enough contrast, but not too much where we get pain and discomfort. Okay. So hopefully that kind of gives you some capture of this color wheel that we've worked on